How's it going, everybody? Today on this episode of How to Howell, I'm going to show you how to replace your old mailbox with your new one. Some common tools you may need to complete this task: post hole diggers, shovel, tape measure, mailbox, address numbers, and cement. So on this episode of How to Howell, we're replacing an old mailbox and putting in a new one. Well, the thing is, I have no idea how this mailbox was put in, if it had concrete, if it was just staked in the ground. I have no idea. You probably won't know until you started digging. If you're like me, you rented this house, so you don't know what the person did before you, so you're kind of going in blind. I like to use post hole diggers. You can use a shovel, anything you want. You can use your bare hands. I prefer post hole diggers. Okay, fun fact. Before you start digging and messing around with the mailbox, always check up under here, because you don't ever know what's going to be up under there. There could be a spider, could be a wasp nest. And if you're anything like me, you're terrified of all those little creatures that can really seriously harm you. So it don't hurt to just give it a little quick check. Make sure there's nothing there, because the last thing you want to do is get busy working and you start getting stung by a wasp nest. Alright, so now that you got the old one up, what you're going to do is you're going to take the new mailbox, and while you already have your hole dug, you're just going to kind of stick it down in there and see where it is. As you can see with mine, as you can see, that's a little short. So what I got to do is bring it up. I got to put a little more dirt into it, so that's a good thing that you don't throw the dirt away or whatever, because you're going to have to use it again later, or possibly have to use it again later. The thing about a mailbox is it has to be 41 to 45 inches above the ground. So I guess that's what the car can come by and stop. I don't know, but that's what the law is. Also, another thing about the law is it's got to be 6 to 8 inches from the curb. As you see, I live in the middle of nowhere, so that's not a big deal to me. So I can put it anywhere I want to. If you live in a city, live in the suburbs, 6 to 8 inches from the curb, 41, 45 inches above the ground. Alright, so this is when your tape measure comes into play. You got to make sure, like I said earlier, 41 to 45 inches from the ground. So just put it there on the bottom and go down. So see, my 41 is right here on this little black bar right here. So that's where I know I got to have, that's ground level. That's where I got to have it. So now I got my height right. Now it's time for concrete. So this is just plain and simple concrete mix. You can get it at any Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, pretty much any hardware in general. This bag only cost me $3.92 or something like that, so it's not very expensive, and it's going to save you a lot of hassle in the long run, because once you put this down in there and it dries, you're going to be good to go for 20 or 30 years, probably even longer than that. It's good to put this in the ground right before it rains, or if you have a bucket of water to put on it, it'll help it dry. This is quick drying cement. So if I get this open here. Alright, so you want to make sure this is good and stable. You can pour in a little bit, that way you can help it, it'll help stabilize the mailbox. Now I wouldn't pour too much, because it is cement, and if you ever want to move this, or the mail lady comes by and say, hey, you got to fix this, you don't want to have 40 pounds of cement down here, because that's going to be a heck of a lot harder to move. So what you want to do is fill it up, halfway, and put some more dirt back in there. Once it solidifies, or however you say it, once it gets hard in there, it ain't going to go anywhere. Just pat that down. So now, like I said, I don't have my level, so I need to step back, look at it, see if it's level on all sides, and after that, we're good to go.